In this part, we shall discuss about solutions of trigonometric equations. So before seeing this video, you must see the video part trigonometric part 3.1. Okay. So first of all, what is our goal? Our goal is that we have to find out the solutions of the equations which contain the trigonometric function of the variable. Okay, this lecture is helpful for class 11 students and as well as diploma students. Okay, তো এই পর্বে যেটা আলোচনা করব আমরা trigonometric equation বা trigonometric সমীকরণগুলোর সমাধান। প্রথমত জানতে হবে যে trigonometric সমীকরণ কাকে বলে। Equations involving with the trigonometric functions, involving with the trigonometric functions of variable are called equations involving trigonometric functions of variables are called trigonometric equation. তাহলে ত্রিকোণমিতিক সমীকরণ কাকে বলবো? যে সমীকরণের মধ্যে ত্রিকোণমিতিক ফাংশন আছে এবং উইথ ভেরিয়েবল x। ফর এক্সাম্পল আমরা বলতে পারি, ফর এক্সাম্পল 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. This equation contains a trigonometric function sine function and the variable x. So in this section we find the solution of the trigonometric equation, solutions of the trigonometric equation. So in this section we find the solutions of trigonometric equation. Why I emphasize the solutions? Okay, that means more than one solution. এই সমীকরণটা আমরা দেখব যে একাধিক সলিউশন পাচ্ছি। That's why we are saying that solutions of the trigonometric equation. So we have already learned that the value of the trigonometric function like sin x and cos x, the value of the trigonometric ratio sin x and cos x repeat after 2 pi period. Okay, that means sin 2 pi plus x equals to sin x, cos 2 pi plus x equals to cos x. Okay, keep it in your mind, this result sin 2 pi plus x equals to sin x and cosine 2 pi plus x equals to cosine x and tan pi plus x equals to tan x. We have already learned about this because after 2 pi period the value of the sin x and cosine x repeat, and after pi, okay, the value of pi period, okay, so the value of tan x repeats. Okay, so that's why I have said here the sin 2 pi plus x, this is called 2 pi period. Someone say that 2 pi period মানে বলতে চাইছি যে sin, ধরো sin 30 এর ভ্যালু হাফ, of course sin 2 pi plus 30, that means 2 pi মানে আমরা জানি 360 ডিগ্রি, 390 ডিগ্রি equals to হাফ। সেই জন্য বলছি যে 2 pi অ্যাঙ্গেলের পরে সাইনের মানটা আবার রিপিট করবে বা কোসাইনের মানটা আবার রিপিট করবে। ট্যানের ক্ষেত্রে পাই পাই যদি যোগ করি সেই tan এর ভ্যালুটা অপরিবর্তিত থাকবে, দ্যাট মিন্স রিপিট করবে ভ্যালুগুলো। So what is our goal? Our goal is that we have to find out the solutions of this type of trigonometric equation. This is a simple equation. Okay. So for finding the solution of the trigonometric equations, we will get always two types of solutions. One is the principal solutions, another is general solutions. So what is the definition of the principal solution and what is the definition of general solution? Okay. Is this part. The solutions of the trigonometric equations, principal solution, the solutions, আমি বারবার সলিউশনসটাকে এমফাসাইজ করছি তার কারণ অনেকগুলো সমাধান পাবো। The solutions of the trigonometric equation for which zero less than equals to x less than equals to 2 pi. What is our goal? We have to find out the value of x that is in the solution. If the solution lies between 0 to 2 pi, that solutions are called principal solutions. Are called principal solutions. Principal solutions. So what about the general solutions? General solutions means after solving the equations, you get some value of x. If that means the x is something, that expression is given to you. If that expression contains any integers like n, okay, integer means অখণ্ড সংখ্যা, n যদি কোনো একটা এক্সপ্রেশনের মধ্যে n থাকে সেই ধরনের সলিউশনটাকে বলবো আমরা জেনারেল সলিউশন। তাহলে ডিফাইন করব কি, দ্য এক্সপ্রেশন ইনভলভিং ইন্টিজার্স n, এক্সপ্রেশন মিন্স সলিউশনস এর মধ্যে যে এক্সপ্রেশনটা থাকবে মানে x ইকুয়ালস টু যে সামথিং যেটা পাবে সেই এক্সপ্রেশনটা, দ্য এক্সপ্রেশন ইনভলভিং n involving integers n like n, which gives all solution of the all solutions, সমস্ত রকমের সলিউশন থাকবে, all solutions of trigonometric equation the expression involving integer n which gives all solutions of trigonometric equation is called a general solution. তাহলে পার্টিকুলার সলিউশন যে সলিউশনগুলো 0 থেকে 2 পাই এর মধ্যে থাকবে সেগুলোকে বলবো আমরা পার্টিকুলার সলিউশন। জেনারেল সলিউশন মানে কি, কোন ত্রিগোনোমেট্রিক ইকুয়েশনের সমস্ত রকম সলিউশন যে এক্সপ্রেশনটা কন্টেইন করে থাকবে সেই সলিউশনটাকে আমরা বলবো জেনারেল সলিউশন। তো এখন আমরা কিছু প্রবলেম, কিছু এক্সাম্পল আমরা সলভ করব, যে এক্সাম্পলগুলো দিয়ে আরো ক্লিয়ার হবে কোনটা প্রিন্সিপাল সলিউশন কোনটা জেনারেল সলিউশন, সেগুলো নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব এবং কিছু কিছু প্রবলেম সলভ করার চেষ্টা করব। ওকে, তো আমরা একটা এক্সাম্পল নিয়েছিলাম, আমি এই পার্টটাই করছি যে ফর এক্সাম্পল আমি পার্টিকুলার সলিউশন বার করছি, পার্টিকুলার সলিউশন, ফাইন্ড পার্টিকুলার সলিউশনস of course solutions of trigonometric equation. I have not mentioned here, just I write down here equation 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. I have already given this example. Find particular solutions of 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. Now, how to solve it? 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. This is our goal, that we have to find out the value of x. So 2 sin x equals to 1 and sin x equals to half. And we know that sin 30 degree is half. In radial mode, sin pi by 6 is half. So sin x equals to half, that is sin pi by 6. So x equals to, you can say clearly, pi by 6. Is there any solutions? Any other solution? Oh, that's why I have already told in the starting point in this video that you must see the video 3.1, sine of the trigonometric ratio. Okay, so I recap that matter. So we know that this quadrant, all are, this is the 2 pi 360 degree. Okay, তো আমি x axis এবং y axis দুটো axis নিয়েছি এবং অলরেডি এই পার্টটা আমরা প্রিভিয়াস লেকচারে ডিসকাস করেছি, তবু আমরা আরেকবার রিক্যাপ করছি। তো this is called the first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Okay, in the first quadrant, that means the angle between 0 to pi by 2, আমি অ্যাঙ্গেলটা মেজার করছি অ্যান্টি ক্লকওয়াইজ ডিরেকশন, স্টার্টিং পয়েন্ট হিয়ার এন্ড দিস ইজ 0 টু পাই বাই 2, ঘড়ির কাঁটার বিপরীত দিকে ঘুরছি, এবং 0 টু পাই বাই 2, দিস ইজ কল্ড দ্য ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্র্যান্ট, পাই বাই 2 টু পাই, দ্যাট ইজ সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্র্যান্ট, এন্ড পাই টু 3 পাই বাই 2, দ্যাট ইজ থার্ড কোয়াড্র্যান্ট, 3 পাই বাই 2 থেকে 2 pi, that is fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. That means sin x, cos x, tan x, cot x, sec x, cosec x, all are positive. In the second quadrant, sin positive, only sin positive and cosec positive, because cosec is 1 by sin. In the third quadrant, tan positive as well as cot positive. And the fourth quadrant, cos, cosine positive as well as sec positive. Okay, that means sine, second quadrant is sine positive and first quadrant is sine is also positive. For this problem, you see that sine pi by 6 is also half. Another, if sine x equals to half, so sine pi by sine pi minus pi by 6, that's also give sin pi by 6. কেন? আরেকবার মনে করার চেষ্টা করি। আমরা কি জানতাম যে sin n into pi by 2 plus minus theta, যদি n even হয়, if n is even, that is plus minus sin theta. When n is even, and plus minus cosine theta when n is odd. মনে করার চেষ্টা করুন। তো এখানে n equals to sin pi minus pi by 6, আমি এখানে রাফ ক্যালকুলেশন করছি, pi minus pi by 6, sin 2 into pi by 2 minus pi by 6. তাহলে n is even, সেজন্য আমি ডিরেক্টলি sin pi by 6 লিখতে পারি। এবার sin pi by 6 যে লিখে ফেললাম, তার আগে পজিটিভ হবে না নেগেটিভ হবে সেটা আমি দেখব ওটা কোন কোয়াড্র্যান্টে আছে। তো ফার্স্ট দেখি আমি pi minus pi by 6 বা 2 into pi by 2, pi by 2, pi by 2, তাহলে 2 into pi by 2 গেলাম, গিয়ে minus pi by 6 মানে ব্যাক করলাম সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্র্যান্ট। সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্র্যান্টে কে পজিটিভ? Of course sin positive, that is sin pi by plus sin pi by 6. তাহলে sin pi minus pi by 6 and sin pi by 6 both have same value, that is half. তো another solution একটা পেয়ে যাব কি, x equals to, এখান থেকে আমরা পাচ্ছি x equals to pi by 6, sin x equal to sin pi by 6, that gives x equals to pi by 6. Another, sin x equals to half, we can say sin pi minus pi by 6, that is sin x equals to sin 5 pi by 6. So from this equation x gives to 5 pi by 6. So x equals to 5 pi by 6 and x equals to pi by 6 both lies in 0 to 2 pi. So these two solutions are principal solution of the equation 2 sin x minus 1 equals to 0. ওকে, তাহলে আমরা বারবার যেটা এমফাসাইজ করতে চাইছিলাম সলিউশনস মানে অনেকগুলো সলিউশনস। তাহলে প্রিন্সিপাল সলিউশন দুটো পেলাম এখানে 2 sin x minus 1, যেহেতু আমরা কোশ্চেনটাই আমি করেছি যে প্রিন্সিপাল সলিউশনস অফ দ্য ইকুয়েশন। সো তাহলে এই পার্টটা এগুলো হচ্ছে ক্যালকুলেশন পার্ট, আমি তোমাদের বোঝানোর জন্য করেছি, জাস্ট প্রবলেমটা এখানেই শেষ। যে x equals to pi by 6 এখান থেকে একটা পেলাম আর x equals to 5 pi by 6. So the principal solutions are x equals to pi by 6 and 5 pi by 6. ওকে, জেনারেল সলিউশন আমরা পরে আসবো, এখন প্রিন্সিপাল সলিউশনস এর কিছু প্রবলেম আমরা সলভ করব। তো সাইন অফ দ্য ট্রিগোনোমেট্রিক রেশিও এই পার্টটা কিন্তু এই সলিউশনস অফ দ্য ট্রিগোনোমেট্রিক ইকুয়েশন এই সলভ করতে গেলে প্রচন্ড ওই কনসেপ্টটা দরকার। ওই কনসেপ্টটা যদি ক্লিয়ার হয় তাহলে এই প্রবলেমগুলো জলের মতো সহজ এবং তুমি ক্লিয়ারলি সলভ করতে পারবে। তো আমরা কিছু প্রবলেম সলভ করি। Find the principal solutions of problem number 1, tan x equals to root 3. Problem number 2, cot x equals to minus root 3. Cot x equals to minus root 3. Problem number 3, sec x equals to 2. And problem number 4, cosec x equals to minus 2. Okay. So now, first problem is that tan x equals to root 3. And আমরা প্রথমেই কোয়াড্রেন্ট গুলো দেখে নেব কোন কোয়াড্রেন্টে tan পজিটিভ থাকে। tan পজিটিভ থাকে ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্রেন্ট এন্ড থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট। তো tan x equals to root 3, tan কত ডিগ্রির মান root 3? tan 60 ডিগ্রি in terms of radian, that is pi by 3. So tan x equals to root 3 means tan pi by 3. So you will get the one solution is tan x equals to tan pi by 3, that gives x equals to pi by 3. And another part is that I have already said tan is also positive in the third quadrant. So tan x equals to root 3. So clearly you can say that tan pi plus pi by 3, that means tan 2 into pi by 2. We know that tan n into pi by 2 plus minus theta or plus minus theta equals to plus minus tan theta when n is even and plus minus cot theta when n is odd. Okay, so when n is odd, here tan pi plus pi by 3, I have calculated here. Tan pi means 2 into pi by 2 plus pi by 3. So n is even, so we get tan pi by 3. Am I right? So the sign may be plus or minus according to the quadrant. So first we have to see that which quadrant lies pi plus pi by 3. First I have to go pi by 2, next 2 into pi by 2 plus pi by 3, that lies in the third quadrant. And third quadrant tan is always positive, so it's the positive sign. So that means tan pi by 3 and tan pi plus pi by 3 both are same value. So that gives tan x equals to tan 4 pi by 3. So x equals to 4 pi by 3. So the solutions of this trigonometric equation tan x equals to root 3 gives the principal solutions are x equals to pi by 3 and 4 pi by 3. Clear? Next part, cot x equals to minus root 3. I erase this part. Okay. Cot x equals to minus root 3. And we know that cot 30 degree is root 3. So that means in terms of radian minus cot pi by 6. In which quadrant cot is negative? We know that. And you can say that cot x equals to, this is the all sine tan cos. So in the second quadrant and fourth quadrant cot is negative. So minus cot of pi by 6, you can write down here cot pi minus pi by 6, that gives cot of minus pi by 6. How? You see that cot 2 into pi by 2 minus pi by 6, since n is even, that gives cot of pi by 6. And then which sign appears? Because this angle lies in the second quadrant, pi by 2, pi minus pi by 6. That means second quadrant, sine is positive, cosec is positive, but cot is negative. So minus cot pi by 6. So that gives cot 5 pi by 6. So comparing these two, cot x equals to cot 5 pi by 6. This gives x equals to 5 pi by 6. This is the one solution. Another solution? Any other solution? Okay. So similarly, cot x equals to minus root 3, and that is minus cot pi by 6. And the similar fashion, we can say cot 2 into 2 pi minus pi by 6. Why? So cot is also negative in the fourth quadrant. So we are starting here anti-clockwise direction, pi by 2, that is pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi minus pi by 6 in the third quadrant. And this is the even multiple, so that you can write down cot 4 into pi by 2, 2 pi means minus pi by 6. So that is cot pi by 6, and negative sign appears because this lies in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant cot is always negative. Okay, so I erase this part. Just cot x equals to cot 2 pi minus pi by 6, that means 11 pi by 6. So x equals to 11 pi by 6. So the solutions are x equals to 5 pi by 6, and the principal solutions are 5 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6, because both of the solutions lies in 0 to 2 pi. So that's why I have said the principal solutions. So we only bother about, in this problem we will bother about principal solutions of the trigonometric equation. মানে আমরা কেবলমাত্র প্রিন্সিপাল সমাধানগুলোই বার করছি। ওকে, তো I think problem number 2 already resolved. Next, problem number 3. Problem number 3, sec x equals to 2. So we know that sec x means 1 by cosine x equals to 2. That gives cosine x equals to half. And it is clear to you that cos 60 degree, that means cosine pi by 3 is half. So cosine x equals to cosine pi by 3, that gives x equals to pi by 3. One solution. Another solution, in which quadrant this angle lies in the first quadrant and another cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. So similarly, cosine x equals to half. So cosine 2 pi minus pi by 3. So pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi minus pi by 3. In the third quadrant, cosine is positive, so we will get cos pi by 3. So this is clear to you. Then cosine x equals to cosine 5 pi by 3. Then that gives x equals to 5 pi by 3. So we get two principal solutions. The principal solutions are x equals to pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3. I think it is clear to you. Three type of problems I have solved. Okay, next problem number 4. Cosec x equals to minus 2. So cosec x equals to 1 by sin x equals to minus 2. So then sin x equals to minus half. Sin x equals to minus half. So in which quadrant sin is negative? All of you know that in third quadrant and fourth quadrant sin is negative. So sin x equals to minus half, you can say sin 30 degree, that is minus sin 30 degree, that means pi by 6. So clearly sin x equals to minus sin pi by 6, and you can write down here sin pi plus pi by 6. That means 2 into pi by 2. So that gives also minus sin pi by 6, because 2 into pi by 2 plus pi by 6, that lies in the third quadrant. So that gives minus sin pi by 6. So sin pi plus pi by 6, that equals to sin 7 pi by 6. Okay. So sin x equals to sin 7 pi by 6. That gives x equals to 7 pi by 6. That is the one solution. The another solution is that sin x, of course minus half, that's equals to minus sin pi by 6. That lies in the fourth quadrant, is also sign is negative. So we can easily write here sin 2 pi minus pi by 6. Okay, even multiple, so that's why we are getting here sin pi by 6. And since this angle lies in the fourth quadrant, so that's why that is minus sin pi by 6. So sin x equals to sin 2 pi minus pi by 6, that is 11 pi by 6. So x equals to 11 pi by 6. The solutions, the principal solutions of this trigonometric equation the principal solutions of the trigonometric equation are x equals to 7 pi by 6 and x equals to 11 pi by 6. I think up to this point it is clear to you. Okay, similarly. So next, problem number 2, we are trying to go the general solutions of the equation for particular problem. Okay, so I erase this part. Find the solutions of problem number 2. Find the solutions of number 1 sin x equals to 0, number 2 sin x equals to 1, number 3 cosine x equals to 0, number 4 cosine x equals to 1. Okay. So now the first problem is sin x equals to 0. So you know what is the value of sin x? 0 equals to sin 0 also 0. Sin pi is also 0. Sin 2 pi is also 0, and so on. In terms of sin n pi, whatever the values of n means the integer, that is 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, plus minus 4, and so on. So sin x equals to 0, that means sin x equals to sin n into pi, where n belongs to z. Z means integer. Here z, the set is integer set 0, 1, minus 1, plus 1, 2, minus 2, 3, minus 3, and so on. Z contains infinite number of elements. So 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. That is called the integer set, or which is denoted by capital Z. So x equals to the n pi. So this is called the general solution. Why? Because the solution contain integer n. I have already defined the general solution of this equation is n pi. Okay. So now the next part is that sin x equals to 0. Another is sin x equals to 1. Sin x equals to 1. So we know that sin 90 degree, that means sin pi by 2 equals to 1. And another is, you see that the first quadrant, sin pi by 2 is 1. And sin 2 pi plus pi by 2, that is also 1. Sin 2 pi plus pi by 2 is always 1. Why? I have already said that sine is the periodic function with period 2 pi. Okay, so sin pi by 2 is also 1, and say sin 3 pi by 2, that is minus 1, sin 2 pi plus pi by 2, say okay. Sin next আমরা যদি বলি যে sin 3 pi by 2 এর ভ্যালু কত, তাহলে আমরা এটাকে ক্লিয়ারলি লিখতে পারি sin 2 pi plus pi by 2, that means 2 into pi by 2 plus pi by 2, that is sin pi by 2, and that lies in the 2 into pi by 2 plus pi by 2, that is third quadrant, so negative. So that gives minus 1. So if I take sin 2 pi plus pi by 2, so that means I am going to the first quadrant, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 4 pi, 2 pi plus pi by 2, that is also 1. So sin 4 pi plus pi by 2, that is also 1. Sin 6 pi plus pi by 2, that is also 1. So if in general we can write down here also sin 2n pi plus pi by 2, whatever the values of n, where n belongs to z, that means n is 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2, which contain all the solution of the equation sin x equals to 1. So sin x equals to 1, that gives sin x equals to sin 2n pi plus pi by 2. So x equals to 2n pi plus pi by 2. After simplification we can easily say 4n plus 1 into pi by 2, and n belongs to z. We have already said Z is the integer set which contain the element 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and so on. So next, so this is the general solution of particular equation. Okay, problem number 3. I erase this part. Problem number 3. Cosine x equals to 0. We know that cos pi by 2 is also 0. That means cosine 90 degree is 0. And cos 3 pi by 2 also 0. Why? Okay, minus cos pi by 2, cos 3 pi by 2, that means pi plus pi by 2. That is minus cosine pi by 2, cosine pi by 2 equals to 0. So 0 আগে পজিটিভ থাক নেগেটিভ থাক কিছু যায় আসে না, তাহলে cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. Then cos pi by 2, pi plus pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 টাকে আমি লিখতে পারি pi plus pi by 2. আবার cos 2 pi plus pi by 2, cosine 3 pi plus pi by 2, all are 0, and so on. In general, cosine n pi plus pi by 2 is also 0. For all values of n, this equation contains all the solutions. So cosine of x equals to 0, we can easily say that cosine x equals to cosine of n pi plus pi by 2, where n belongs to z. আমি যদি এটা নিই এই সমীকরণটা, তাহলে এই সমস্ত মান ভ্যালুগুলো এখান থেকে জেনারেট হচ্ছে। n equal to 0 বসাও pi by 2, n equals to 1 বসাও 3 pi by 2, n equals to 2 বসাও তাহলে 2 pi plus pi by 2, সবগুলো চলে আসছে। তাহলে আমি যদি n equals to, তাহলে x equals to, the solution is x equals to n pi plus pi by 2, where n belongs to z, and z equals to integer set which contain the element 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2. That is also a general solution which contain all the solutions of the particular equation cosine x equals to 0. Okay, so next I erase this part. Next, problem number 4. Cosine x equals to 1. So now we know that cos 0 degree is also 1. And cos pi, what is the value cos pi? We can write down as cos 2 into pi by 2 plus 0. Okay? And 2 into pi by 2 plus 0, that lies in the either second quadrant and third quadrant. Okay? And third quadrant and second quadrant sine positive, third quadrant cos tan positive. So this is negative. So cos 0 equals to, that is minus 1. Okay? So cos 2 into pi by 2 plus 0, that cannot be happened. So we can write down here cosine 2 pi plus 0. Cosine, similarly cosine 3 pi, not 3 pi, 4 pi plus 0. That is also 1. So in this fashion, we can say that and goes to cos 2n pi plus 0, that gives also 1. Okay, so cos x equals to 1, that means cos 2n pi for all where n belongs to z, where z is the integer, the value of z integer set which contain the element 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. Okay, so the solutions, the general solutions for the particular equation cosine x equals to 1 equals to x equals to 2n pi. Okay, where n belongs to z. That are the solutions of the equation. Okay. So in the next part we will discuss if cos x equals to cos y, then what is the solution? If sin x equals to sin y, then what is the solution? What is the relation between x and y? If tan x equals to tan y, what is the relation between x and y? And we will solve some tricky problems about trigonometric equations. Okay, up to this part it is clear to you, I think. Okay, thank you.